Hello, hello. Today is Wednesday, October 21st. This is a video for those individuals who are absent or need additional help. Here we go. First off, with the self-start, we have to find the area of a triangle. This is something we have not specifically covered, but kind of in a way. So area of a triangle, we still have to do our base times height divided by 2. There we go. So our base of this is going to be 10 times the height, which is 7. We're going to divide that by 2. 10 times 7 is 70. 70 divided by 2 is going to give me an answer of 35 centimeters squared. Find the volume. So now we're moving from area into volume. Volume is, move that so we can see numbers a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so volume is base times height divided by 2, or you could also say length times width times height divided by 2. So I'm going to do 4.5 times 8 times 5. So when I plug this into my calculator, it's 8 times 5. I get an answer of 180. But don't fall into the trap of thinking I'm done, because remember, triangles are involved. I need to remember to divide it by 2. So that's going to give me an answer of 90 centimeters cubed. Remember, volume is always cubed. Speaking of, here we go. I have a rectangular prism right here. Rectangular prisms is length times width times height. So I'm going to do 4.5 times 3.2 times 4.2, which is going to give me an answer of 60.48 centimeters cubed. We are not dividing by 2 on this one because there are no triangles involved. Remember, you only divide by 2 when you're dealing with triangles. So that's why I divided by 2 up here. That's why I divided by 2 here. That's why I did not divide by 2. Here's your deep thought for the day. You're welcome to pause and read. Your first feedback on volume is going to be on this Friday. You'll need to know how to find area of a triangle, which is what we just did for our self-start. How to find area of a polygon, which is what we're learning about today. You'll need to know how to find volume of a rectangular prism and how to find volume of a triangular prism. We've reviewed the self-start for today, so we're moving into today's lesson, finding area of a regular polygon. So first off, again, kind of a brief, review. Area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. So we're going to do 6 times 5. We're going to remember to divide that by 2. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is going to give me an answer of 15. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. You've been doing area of a triangle for a couple of years now. What we're going to do now is try to figure out how to find area of this. So there's a couple things that we can do. So option 1 is something that you learned last year. You can break up the polygon into triangles, which is why we're having you practice area of a triangle. Find that area of the one triangle and then multiply by the number of triangles. So that's what you did last year. So that would look something like this, where you just draw triangles from the center to each corner. Well, that was a really bad one. Sorry, I'm trying to do this using a mouse and it's not quite working out very straight. So just use your imagination and pretend those are straight lines. There you go. So you could break them up into triangles like this and find the area of one triangle and then multiply it by the number of triangles that are inside. So that's option 1. Option 2, you need to first understand a couple of vocabulary words. The first one is what a apothem is. An apothem, not opossum, apothem is the measure from the center of the polygon to a side. So it would be the measure from here to one of the sides. Not to the corner, but to the side. So that's the apothem. You need to understand what perimeter is. Perimeter is just the distance around the outside of a shape. So it's the number of sides times the length of a side. So it would be this. So you could do this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this, so on and so forth. Or you could just say this times however number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I had to count for 1 sec. I forgot. So you need to understand what those two things are. And you can use that now for this. You can do perimeter times apothem divided by 2, which is also the number of sides, times the length of a side, times the apothem divided by 2. So for those people that like formulas, just to be able to plug in numbers, this is going to be your best option. Those people that remember the triangle method from last year and like visuals, then that's going to be a great option. We don't care which method you use, it's up to you. So again, you can do area of a triangle and then times it by the number of triangles. Or you can do the number of sides times the length of a side times the apothem divided by 2. The most common mistake people will make if they use this formula is they will forget to multiply by the number of sides, or they'll forget to divide by 2. So we're going to get some practice with those today. So the first one, I purposefully did not give you. So I didn't give you any numbers on purpose because I didn't want people jumping ahead. So I'll give you those numbers now. Have you hit pause after we do a couple, just so you can see how it works. So first one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides to it. So this is an octagon. So I'm going to draw my center point. Again, just pretend. So I'm going to draw lines kind of showing. There we go. Okay, so the apothem, this distance right here, is going to be 6.76 inches. And the side length is going to be 5.6 inches. So option 1 is I can break this up into triangles. Again, I'm going to try my best to draw straight lines, but as you can see, I'm already failing on that. Just pretend. I'm just going to kind of skip that. Okay, there we go. So first thing we can do is we can find area of a triangle, which is base times height. So here's my height of my triangle. So it's going to be 6.76 times the base, which is 5.6. And then I'm going to remember to divide that by 2 because it's area of a triangle. So if I type in my calculator 6.76 times 5.6, and I'm going to divide it by 2, I'm going to get an answer of 18, it's supposed to be an 8, there you go, 0.928. So now that's the area of just one of these triangles. But I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. So I'm going to multiply that answer, draw a multiplication dot so you can see that, by 8. So when I multiply that number by 8, I get an answer of 151.424 inches squared. So there's my answer. So this is if you want to break it up into triangles. The formula method, the one that you just learned, is this. Number of sides, which is 8, times the length of one side, which is 5.6, times the times the apothem. Here's my apothem, which is 6.76, and then remember to divide it by 2. So when I type all of this into a calculator, I get the exact same answer, 151.424 inches squared. So there you go. So either method works just fine. Either draw your triangles, find the area of one triangle, base times height divided by 2, and then make sure to times that by the number of triangles, or number of sides times the length of a side times the apothem divided by 2. But either way is going to give me the same answer. Okay, so here I have a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to it. Let me go ahead and draw my center, and then I'm going to draw my dotted line. This is just showing the distance from the center to the side, so that's my apothem. And I'm going to give you the number for that is 9.91. And I'm going to say that the length of the side is 14.4. So we're going to say that these are yards. There we go. I'm going to have you go ahead and hit pause and see if you can either use the triangle method or the formula method to solve area for this pentagon. So hit pause now and come back. Okay. Hopefully you've given it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and draw my triangles. Again, I'm going to do my best to draw them straight. There we go. That's not too bad. Okay, so triangle method says I do my base, which is 14.4, times my height, which is 9.91. And don't forget to divide that by 2. So I'm going to type it in my calculator, 14.4 times 9.91 divided by 2. And I come up with an answer of 71.352. Now remember, that's the area for just one of these triangles. I need to now take that and multiply it by the number of triangles that I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get an answer of 356.76. I'm going to label it yards squared. So there's your triangle method. The formula method is number of sides, which is 5, times the length of a side, which is 14.4, times the apothem, which is 9.91, and then divide that by 2. When I do all of that, I come up with an answer of 356.76 yards squared. So again, you've noticed we get the same answer, and you can choose which method works best for you. If you're a visual learner, draw the triangles. If you are a plug and chug type person like myself, then give me a formula and let me put the numbers in and do it. So there you go. I'm not going to go through the rest of them. So we're just going to have you stop there. If by chance you do want some extra practice, you can go to joinmyquiz.com, type in this code and use any appropriate name, and you can get practice finding more polygons. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to email your teacher. Contact us through Canvas. Have a great day. We miss you. Hopefully we see you guys back soon enough.